What do you want? Comment on her dual identity. Hi.
I think your idea of pretending to be a medium is fantastic.
It sounds like I impress you.
You do.
How many people know?
Is that a threat?
No. Raise the subject of the wild, Salutator.
I noticed a wild salutor here. I understand your being here has something to do with him in particular.
Keep your nose out of this.
Why?
Because I'm warning you.
Find out how much she knows.
What do you know about this salutor? Do you know its name?
Don't you?
A name doesn't tell us much anyway. All that matters is picking out the person in this crowd with a flaw.
I know perfectly well who carries the flaw. Another reason for you to stay out of it.
Well, ask about the
The
person.
person with the flaw attended the seance, right? So I'm on the right track.
Have you finished?
No. Person with the flaw will take part in Samara's seance. Thaumaturge cleverly planned everything. End the discussion.
So should we finish up?
That would be best. And listen to me carefully, Mr. Whatever your name is.
Shulsky, but you can call me Victor.
Now, Mr. Shulsky, you will vanish like a bad dream, and I will get back to work.
Oh, really? Champagne glasses. Empty. The lips that sipped champagne a moment ago kept uttering cutting words of contempt. Someone clearly regrets marrying the alleged idiot Lucia. I doubt she is the idiot in this relationship. Hello. Oh. Am I supposed to be in here? Probably not. Oh, is there a thing around here somewhere?
I felt something. Where is it?
Tiled stove. There's some soot and remnants of a burned letter on the cast iron. Unusually steady hands were shaking as her eyes followed the written words. He was watching her. She already knew that. But how dare he threaten her? Agitated, she threw the note in the furnace. Too bad she couldn't get rid of the stalker that easily. The remains contain the author's concern about Svetlana's condition, expressed in a seemingly kind-hearted tone. The message ends with a veiled threat, foreshadowing a desire to interfere. Trace unknown. Time Wander looks like new, probably heavy. The chest is kept at the ready. Svetlana's personal items were put into the chest and then removed, all due to her growing anxiety and uncertainty. Should she pack and leave? Again, a restless hand closes the empty chest and decides to keep waiting. Melted candle. Solidified wax carries the memory of honest grief mixed with fear. However, these emotions are quickly concealed with well-practiced composure. Candle is best farewell to the deceased that Svetlana could afford. Silk pillows. Fabric carries a memory of yearned-for lightheartedness, passion, and a sense of security. Two people found solace in each other here. Two people, Svetlana and my father. The silk remembers. It remembers the sensitive planning, the current doubts, the peaceful sense that everything was as it should be, and other chaotic thoughts caused by passionate intoxication that I'd rather not know. Yeah, I don't really want to be remembering father like that. A string of pearls. One could buy a small town with it. Affection and gratitude of one woman covered by the shame of another. Though an honest gift from the Tsarina, Svetlana feels guilty every time she sees it. No wonder Svetlana was reluctant to talk if she's afraid of someone watching her closely, especially if that someone knows a lot about her, and maybe even her pent-up desire to escape. Besides, she had an affair with my father. Maybe I can make her confide in me. Then I'll ask her about what I came for. The Black Grimoire. Okay. Keep reading like that and you'll have to change the stream to 18 plus. Yeah. I think the game's already 18 plus.
I was looking for you.
Do you smoke, Mr. Shulsky?
I've quit.
In light of our approaching conversation, why don't we dispense with the pleasantries? Call me Svetlana.
Hi, Cuddy.
Victor.
Ask.
This time kids should either be in school or sleeping. We fine. Well, maybe not everywhere. Don't know. Time zones, you know? Tell her about the child note.
The burned note. Who sent it? I only sensed underhanded kindness.
Da, the Ochrana. I don't know which one of them exactly, if that's what you're asking. I've worked hard at it.
Ask when she got the note.
When did you receive this note?
A few weeks ago, back before your father.
I see.
Mention her affair.
You two had an affair.
Two grown-up, lonely people found momentary comfort in each other's arms. But romance wasn't behind that relationship. It was just that we were both looking in the same direction.
First, ask about your father's human face.
I didn't have the chance to get to know him as a person, much less one who'd show such emotion.
You mean love? That?
Was it love?
I miss him. That's all.
What do you mean by looking in the same direction? That large travel chest. You changed your mind.
About whether or not to pack. Right then I wanted to escape badly, but that would have had its own consequences. In this game of false appearances, I'm the best.
I still don't know how this lovely note ended up in your hands. But in addition, I found a lovely strings of pearls, and on it, your feelings of guilt.
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
Hmm. Yeah. Going by American time zone and the real one. That's two. That's enough. I don't know what time it is in Australia now. I get very confused because we changed ours and then they changed theirs. Daylight savings. Talk about her feelings of guilt.
Your feelings of guilt. Did they have something to do with the Romanov court?
With the whole empire, Ruski mir im podawaj. We, the establishment, perceive the need for change. We want reform. The Colossus is already teetering, but if it falls... La guillotine, mon chéri. But I want to live, Victor. Ideally, closer to the west.
Talk about the string of pearls. 7:30 there. Oh wow, it is much more convenient timing for you, isn't it?
Tsarina Alexandra gave you those pearls. You two are close.
I am her confidant. I could call her my friend. I see how much she devotes to her family and the nation.
Yet something has changed.
Keep pressing her on your father's role in all this.
Where was my father in all this?
Willingly or otherwise, he was part of the establishment that wanted change and could see revolution before it arrived.
The Ochrana knew about you, hence the note.
They must have noticed something. Isn't it time you told me why you really came to my soirée?
Might they have killed my father?
Do you think the Ochrana killed my father?
Your father was crushed by a building. I don't think that's how the Ochrana works.
Perhaps you're right.
What do you intend to do now?
What do you intend to do now?
I need to
Nothing.
stop,
The
saying
soirées
the
will
things first.
continue. Society has come to expect it. Everything will stay the same. I myself shall manage.
Get to the point.
I hoped you might know something about the Black Grimoire. My father left it to me in his will, but the grimoire has gone missing.
No. And the collapsed building? Have you been there?
There's nothing there.
My dear boy, I know nothing about Stanisław's book. I'm sorry, but I can't help you there.
Oh,
But I will not let you leave empty-handed.
more threads.
I strongly believe that there's one place you ought to visit. What you find there belongs to you.
Thank you.
No, thank you for listening.
I used to start at 8:30, now I start at 6:30. Much better. Awesome. Much more convenient. Have some cognac. Discreet half words, meaningful half smiles, and sidelong glances from behind a fan. Merely appearances. The truth is, I found myself in a den of snakes. People must tread carefully here. God, I would be so bad in high society. I don't like not being able to share things. Hello. Examine this. Letters. Father's letters to Svetlana were very tender and romantic. I would not have expected this from him. If these letters had fallen into the wrong hands, they could have done a lot of damage to the lovers. Okay. They just basically just say, take the letters. Be great in high society, except I keep tripping over the tails of my tuxedo. Seriously, the clothing is completely uncomfortable. As a woman, at that time, I would be expected to be corseted up.
I know.
I've worn a corset
I
once.
remember you from
Extremely
books.
uncomfortable.
What's your name? Don't run away.
Splendid ladies, distinguished gentlemen, the hour is at hand. With lights dimmed and the curtains drawn, the souls of the dead slowly gather among us. On their command, I will give the chosen among you a tarot card as your invitation to the table.
For you, sir?
Thank you. Oh, okay. Tarot card number 0, the Fool. The card almost burns with the emotions left on it. The Thaumaturge must have put all the hostility she could summon into the card. Hostility toward me. Maybe I will join the seance soon, if only out of spite.
Fool. Our dear madame is fooling around and thinks you can scare me off. I'm done wasting time on this.
Let us gather in secret ritual. Let's not keep the souls waiting too long. Let us also make every effort together not to spoil their visit.
Known a number of reenactors that prefer bodices over bras, but end of the day, remove and sign relief was still the same. It's a thing. Madame's mirror asks, cover the windows and dim the lights. Seance requires a certain aura, so the apartment must be kept in darkness until it's over. We'll just do a little arranging. Arranging an unruly strand of hair, she was thinking of Tifel Galski, madly in love with her, willing to do anything for her, so she gave him an impossible task. Trying to comply, he set off for Africa and died tragically, squandering his family's fortune. Joy drifts over the mirror's surface. Her heart throbs when everyone is looking, when her name echoes everywhere, Sophia. So what if some lose their heads for her? Literally. Only makes for better stories. Okay, it's her. Or is it gonna be the dude that I decided not to fight? Smoking was accompanied by a joyful conversation. Sophia's friends were happy she came with them despite her father's ban. They liked to watch her clever intrigues that provide them with topics for gossip. These cigarette butts have women's lip marks on them. If only their fathers saw what they were doing. Sophia spreads her wings when she is out of her father's sight. Watching her scheming is sheer pleasure. Chair. Frustrating thought penetrates Sergei's mind as he sat on a chair watching Sophia from afar. Why did Sophia suddenly start ignoring him? He would do anything for her if she asked. The problem is that Sophia won't speak at all, takes no notice of him anymore. Okay, don't think there's anything in here anymore. Well, let's talk to Lygia.
Here you are.
Gentlemen, meet my brother.
Viktor Szulski.
The last Shulsky to wear trousers. You don't know that. Miss Lygia could yet produce an heir to the fortune. Maybe even with me, if she doesn't tell my wife. But let's talk like men.
Dude.
You intend to take over your father's company, correct?
No. Sincerely admit that Lygia knows what she's doing.
Gentlemen, my sister knows what she's doing. Across the world, women rule over entire societies, like Great Britain. Do you remember Queen Victoria?
I suppose it's true what they say about you.
Yes? What's that?
You've lost your mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've worked long and hard at that.
Good luck with your business, miss.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Have I crossed the line?
Nonsense. You know, thank you for believing in me, especially in front of other people. It means a lot. Any progress with
I like her.
Svetlana?
Ah. Lots of things to talk about. Ask about Sophia.
Sofia Skawan, the Governor General's daughter. Do you know her?
No, and I don't suggest you make her acquaintance either. Skawon can't stand thaumaturges.
Warning, Governor General Scallon is not fond of thaumaturges. Why am I not surprised? Another person who sees an obscure threat in us. Mention you've met, Konechkin?
Guess who I ran into again? All mysterious and carved up.
Ivan Konieczkin?
What do you know about him?
Not much. He was an acquaintance of Papa's. Well, in theory, it's thanks to him that we're here.
What? Ligia?
I know that nothing comes for free, but he really didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looks like a real altruist.
Are you having fun?
You enjoying yourself in this viper's den?
Oh, the vodka is quite tolerable. I'm observing my own brother taking out his anger on ordinary mortals.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I haven't fought anyone yet. Mention Madame Samira.
I've taken a long, deep look at Samira. She's no medium. Samira is a thaumaturge on the hunt.
On the hunt?
No, I'm just gonna tell her. There's a wild salutor here.
Madame has spotted a salutar that's attached to one of the guests.
What kind of salutor?
Remember those fairy tales Mother used to read us? And the legend of the golden snake?
Yes, Veles.
Yes. I'm glad you're here.
Are you also hunting for him?
I admit I'd
Bella.
like to have him. I haven't made up my mind.
Be careful.
I am. That's why I haven't made up my mind.
The Slavic lord of the underworld, the god of wealth, a schemer. The soiree gives him the perfect conditions for feeding, goading, and plotting. Okay, now let's talk about
Unfortunately,
Svetlana.
Svetlana doesn't want to breathe a word of it.
I'm sure she doesn't trust you. In company like this, that speaks well of her.
Why the cold shoulder, Ligia?
I've never liked her. Her manner gets under my skin. I've heard she's a dreadful schemer.
Strange. Ligia usually refrains from gossiping. She's always been the first to condemn such behaviour. What she said about Svetlana may have been caused by the Salutar's influence on the environment. Tell her about the affair.
Did you know that Papa had an affair with the host of this party?
Are you sure?
Absolutely. As sure as the thaumaturge can be. I felt what he felt when, well, you know.
Oh, stop! That's disgusting. Quickly, change the subject.
Okay, bye.
I'm going.
I'll go. Okay. So I'm gonna talk to. Yeah. No, she actually wants to talk to me.
Shulsky, may I have a word?
How can I help?
My friends and I are just playing Truth Order, and now it's my turn. Won't you dazzle me with your powers?
Yeah, your father doesn't like us.
Your father would not be thrilled about you playing games with the thaumaturge.
Maybe that's precisely the point. To keep violating his wishes?
What's going on?
And how might my powers prove useful to you, miss?
Well, rather than truth, a dare sounds good to me. It involves finding out my comrades' secrets, Irina, Maxim, or Sergei. The trick is that you're cleverer at it than I am.
Oh, go on. Let's have
I
fun.
accept.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Let me see what I can find. Will any secret do?
Any. I'll wait anxiously for your return.
I'll take a
Ooh,
look around.
party game. Agreed to play truth or dare to help her complete her task. She and her companions are only looking for distraction by learning more about each other. I could use that to my advantage. Oh, lots of sparkles. Start over here. Weep. Fast drinker. Sip by sip, Maxim swigs alcohol as he watches the surroundings, focusing mainly on the ladies and longing for companionship. Irina is looking pretty today. Maxim is lonely, as we all are from time to time. He tries to drown his feelings in alcohol, but the effect is the opposite of his intentions. His attention is drawn by Sophia, Scallion's friend Irina. Piano. Decorative vase. It stands on the piano, but there are no flowers in it. The vase reflects the strong emotions bubbling up in Sergei. Jealousy mixed with fear. Jealousy directed at me, as he considers me his rival. Fear that Sophia will ignore him when I'm around. Huh. Sergei can't stop thinking about Sophia. He cares about her so much he's willing to do anything for her. Can't understand why Sophia doesn't reciprocate his feelings, which frustrates him. He considers me a rival admirer. Very fancy decorative sofa. She sat on the sofa watching the crowd. Usually flirtatious and playful, she felt an overwhelming emptiness at that moment, which was something new for her. A feeling of loneliness, a need to belong, only lasted a moment, and she grinned and continued the same old charade. Sophia. Someone has nervously plucked palm leaves. Irina wound leaves around her finger with abandon or plucked them discreetly, immersed in thought. Sophia's charade and Maxim. She might walk up to him, but no, she won't. Hesitant, she eventually failed to make a move. Aw, Irina and Maxim like each other. Hesitancy prevents Irina from making a decision. She feels torn. She would like to indulge herself and spend some time with Maxim, but she cannot make a move. Thus, she is in limbo, going over all possible scenarios in her head. Is there anything else I have missed? Doesn't seem like it.
They're getting impatient. What have you found out?
Oh, as a result of your decisions, this path is closed. Let's go for... I wonder what decision it was. Maybe it was to not fight them. Because I guess maybe I'd have more info. Irina, Maxim, or Sergei? Let's go for Sergei. I don't like him. I'm gonna
As
mess
far
with him.
as Sergei,
Yes?
I'll be honest. He'd do anything for you.
Anything, you say?
Oh, she wants all of them. Okay.
Miss Irina would like to get to know Maxim better, but she keeps hesitating.
What? She never told me. Some friend she is. And what does our dear Maxim think of that?
Oh, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know Sergei, don't you?
We're already acquainted.
Mr. Shulsky and I have completed my extra difficult dirt together.
At your service.
Now time for truth. Are you seeing anyone?
Sophia seems to be toying with me. She keeps boldly asking about my private matters, looking for strength in her impertinence. I only wonder if she's toying with Victor Silsky, the person, or the Thaumaturge. The scheming of Scullen's daughter has made her the elite's favourite. Her plots provide distraction and make up the content of keenly spread gossip. At the moment, I am the object of her games. She's teasing me to spite her father, who hates thaumaturges. Or is it just a charade to mask her loneliness? Say my heart is already taken.
My heart is already taken.
I was counting on a different response.
Mr. Shulsky, our time is up. Sophia and I must leave for the seance. Madame is waiting.
Thank you once more.
See you.
I'm also in the seance,
Veles
don't you know?
chased Sophia Scawan and her floor here. She seemed like such an innocent girl, didn't she? Unless you count sending her admirer on a deadly trip to Africa. It's no coincidence she focused on me. After all, old Scawan hates thaumaturges. The little scamp. If I want to discern that little schemer's flaw, I'll have to join that sepulchral table. Either her scheming or her jealous knight in shining armor will help me identify her flaw. I hope her father doesn't find out.
Oh, I bet he's gonna. After the game of Truth or Dare, something flickered around Sophia Scullen. A flaw induced by scheming. It fits. After all, Sophia has a fondness for high society and playing games. Veles, the inciter, is lured by the flaw of the schemer. In order to capture him, I have to play by the rules here, which means exposing Sophia to some stirring experience. I sense that a scandal is inevitable. Oh, what joy. Let's talk to Madame for a moment first.
Shulsky, don't play with me.
I saw your poster.
I saw one of your posters. You look different in it.
Really, the illustration doesn't reflect reality.
How should I take that? No one warned me that I should get in costume for the party.
I beg your pardon.
I'm just noting that you stand out among these boring guests.
Impudent.
Just a bit uncouth, I'd say.
Who are you gonna summon?
Whose soul are you summoning tonight, dear madame?
I only know which one I'd prefer to banish. Shoo.
Maybe my dead father's. If you manage that, it would spare me a lot of trouble.
Now
Yeah.
we'll never know.
Do you know Svetlana Noel?
Do you know the hostess well?
Will you leave me alone if I say I don't?
No.
Svetlana Petrovna invited me, and I am doing my best to meet her expectations. Let's keep out of one another's way.
I'll disappear. For now.
Sometimes it's good to let things go and leave other people in peace, for your own benefit.
Ask if that's a threat, take that as a challenge. Let's take that as a challenge.
I think I'll take up this gauntlet.
Let's just see if there's anything else to talk to Ligia about.
Did I see that you've met this Madame person?
I'm going.
Okay, looks like this is the last thing. Do a little save.
Is this seat free?
The energy is dissipating. Ladies and gentlemen, I am losing contact with these souls.
Well, it was the souls that chose me after all.
It's true. The gentleman has a cart.
Let us lay our hands on the table. Let us allow our minds to liberate themselves from our bodies toward the edges of the world as you know it.
Are you thinking of someone exceptional whom you wish to summon?
Smile but say nothing.
Leave her alone.
Sergei,
Yes,
this has
me.
nothing to do with you.
Dear guests, I implore you, the souls!
Let's mess with some people. Reveal Sergei's devotion.
Your devotion goes unnoticed, and you know full well why that is.
I do. I am your father's choice, not yours, aren't I?
Quiet, please!
Well, this will make your companions happy. Making fools of people, heaven forbid.
Sit down.
My poor heart.
Focus on someone you want to make contact with.
Let's summon the soul of Skalski.
There is one soul I'd like to summon.
Whom do you mean?
Skalski. Does that name mean anything to you? The poor man drowned on the way to Africa, didn't he?
No, it wasn't like that. I didn't know he would be killed.
Sophia's father chose him.
Are you planning a similar fate for Sergei? All this just to get under your father's skin?
So what if it was? Do you know what it's like to live in the shadow of a cold, absent father?
Yes.
Rings a bell.
Is it such a sin to want to be loved?
The powers you and your kind have are terrifying.
That's why people hate you! That's why my father is cracking down on you!
All that matters is I have what I wanted.
Don't you dare! You were supposed to stay away.
Never said I would.
was supposed to leave here with Velis. All that work for nothing.
Hear her out.
Tell me, what don't I understand?
Do you know who she is? Who her father is?
Yes. Keep listening.
You're right. Sophia Skawan was meant to have her flaw removed, discreetly. But I suppose it's too late for that, isn't it?
Were you hired for this?
Someone hired you to remove the flaw from Sophia. Who?
Take a guess. Anyway,
Father?
it doesn't matter now.
Resolve to hand relays over to her.
All right, take Veles. He's yours.
Keep him. It's not him I was after, fool. What's done can't be undone. Sophia Skawan is now the center of the scandal.
I have this under control. I know how to give Sophia's story a happy ending.
I hope we don't all come to regret it.
Hi. Ooh. You're impressive looking. Okay. Can I improve anything that's going to be helpful. All the creepy noises. Distraction. Increase damage. The enemy is suffering. Interrupts an enemy's planned action if the enemy is suffering. Let's get these two. Okay. Let's give this a go. So you need Maxim, Sergey. Okay. Well, let's start off with some suffering and more health points, the higher the damage. 50% chance of dealing double damage. Oop, dear. Okay. Let's try and just get rid of this first guy. Oop. Got shot. Okay, that worked pretty well. Now let's see. So that's here to fill the father. So you need to be attacked with book cover. So you're whatever. So how about we switch friend. Get you suffering. And get you suffering. That's 1/8 for each enemy affected by suffering. There we go. Owies. Okay, you're gonna go away. And you. Restore some focus, make sure I don't break. Remove some negative states from me as well. Oh. Wrong person. Never mind. Oh, goodbye.
Just wait until Rasputin sees you. Then you'll stop fighting me.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this evening the souls were particularly restless.
Sophia?
Did you enjoy the show? My best so far. So, I suppose now is the time to applaud.
And you, sir, what can you tell us?
Grand Sophia peace.
Let it sink in that you're free, finally. Neither your father nor your environment define you.
Everyone heard those atrocious words from my lips. I can't undo that. But you're right. You freed me.
My father was also difficult.
I know what it means to live in the shadow of a father, but that's all behind me now.
What did you do?
And my own way of living.
I met someone who helped me undo the mistakes I made because of my father.
It sounds like that was someone very dear to you.
What's going on here? The guests are complaining, and with good cause, I see. We're terminating this disaster.
Farewell, Viktor Szulski.
See you.
Yeah, he
No,
looks rough.
I don't think so.
Will the gentleman with a book be leaving peacefully, or should we show him out?
Refrain from causing any problems. Yeah, every time he gets a new Salutor, he has to go get go speak to his friend Rasputin to help him control them. Like currently the Salutor's fighting him. Rasputin happens to have worked out what to do with that. So we'll go do that shortly. It actually affects like some of the gameplay and stuff as well. Stops being able to do certain things.
No need, I can make it to the door.
Which is interesting to deal with.
Madame, honored guests.
Victor, don't scare me like that.
Mr. Szulski, are you all right?
I think it's time for us to go.
Yeah, I'm fine
I'll
though.
snug us a carriage.
You'll have a hard time at this hour. I'll drop you off.
See, you can always count on Mr. Konieczkin.
Victor. Thank you. That's very polite. Thank you for an interesting evening.
Let her get angry.
What?
I didn't say anything.
Fine.
Mention Konechkin.
Konieczkin is up to something.
Victor, if not for him, he really helped us tonight. I don't want to talk about it tonight. Good night.
Okay, maybe I should have apologized.
The telephone.
No, what's the telephone? I know.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hello. Victor?
Yes.
Speaking.
Victor, Uncle Sasha here. How are you? Have you visited your old stomping ground yet?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And how are you, Uncle?
I need your help, boy. It's a very delicate matter. Are you able to find a moment for your uncle?
I'll try.
All right. So where should we meet?
Remember where I took you kids for donuts?
I do.
Oh.
Let's meet there. Maybe we can reminisce about the old days. Better days. See you then, Victor.
I've been meaning to go
Thank you.
to try and find the donut shop anyway. Because that's where the lady was referencing. Yeah, I need to go see Rasputin.